Has averaged 180,000 homes for sale. That's the largest number in state history.
More people than ever before are trying to sell.
This turbulent housing market, maybe you've noticed all the newly constructed houses sitting empty.
Housing market is hitting a rough patch these days. Inventory is piling up, prices are slipping, and buyers, well...
What if America's hottest housing market suddenly cooled off? For years, Florida was untouchable. Homes vanished in days, bidding wars went nuclear, and buyers waived every protection just to get a foot in the door. But now, the tide has turned, and the change is shocking. The same state that symbolized real estate gold is becoming one of the riskiest markets on earth. Miami. Yes, glamorous, sun-soaked Miami has just been ranked the #1 housing bubble in the world. Yet, at the exact same time, Florida's housing market is swinging hard in favor of buyers for the first time in years. It's a story of opportunity colliding with danger, where one side sees a dream and the other sees a ticking time bomb. So what really happened to Florida's housing market? And more importantly, what happens next? Let's rewind a few years. During the pandemic era, Florida became the promised land. Remote workers fled cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, chasing lower taxes, bigger homes, and that endless sunshine. Houses were selling faster than people could unpack their moving boxes. Buyers were throwing down cash offers tens of thousands over asking, skipping inspections, and praying sellers would even notice them. For a while, Florida could do no wrong. Prices skyrocketed. Neighborhoods expanded overnight. And investors swarmed like bees to honey, convinced the growth would never stop. But of course, markets have a way of humbling everyone. The surge of out-of-state movers slowed. Insurance costs exploded. Interest rates crept up. And suddenly, the fever started to break. Fast forward to today, 2025. The numbers are jaw-dropping. According to new data from Realtor.com, Florida's biggest metro areas, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, and Jacksonville, are all officially buyer-friendly. Here's how it breaks down. Miami, 9.7 months of housing supply. Orlando, 7 months. Jacksonville, 6.3 months. Tampa, also 6.3 months. Now, anything above 6 months means buyers have the upper hand. So Florida hasn't just cooled, it's flipped. Houses are sitting longer. Price cuts are becoming common. And for the first time in years, sellers are calling their agents and saying, maybe we should lower the price. This marks a massive shift in power, from a seller's market where buyers were desperate to a balanced one where negotiation is back on the table. And yet, beneath the surface of all that good news lies a warning. According to UBS Global Wealth Management, Miami is now the most overvalued housing market in the entire world. Not just the US, the world. For the second year in a row, it tops the global bubble index. Experts describe it as a substantial and sustained mispricing. Translation? Prices have run so far ahead of incomes and fundamentals that the risk levels are, quote, higher than anywhere else. And the numbers prove it. The median household income in South Florida is around $76,000. That's enough to comfortably afford a $300,000 home. But the actual median single-family home price? Well over $600,000. That's double what the average family can support. Add in rising mortgage rates and sky-high insurance costs, and you get a city where even professionals are getting priced out. Still, not everyone's panicking. Economists like Jonathan Woloshin from UBS say Miami's fundamentals, strong job growth, population gains, and limited land mean the city isn't doomed to crash. Trees don't grow to the sky, he says, but Miami's still a great market. So yes, risk levels are high. But the story isn't over yet. While Miami's grabbing headlines, the real surprise is happening statewide. Florida now leads the nation in homes for sale. Over 167,000 active listings, making up roughly 15% of all U.S. housing inventory. That's more than Texas, more than California, more than anywhere. And this didn't happen overnight. In early 2023, Florida's inventory shot up by 143% year over year, the steepest rise in the country. That avalanche of listings has continued into 2025, creating the most balanced housing landscape Florida has seen in a decade. For buyers, that means choices. For sellers, pressure. Let's zoom in. Miami is seeing homes sit on the market 16 days longer than last year, with a 24% jump in inventory. Around 17% of listings have dropped their prices. In Orlando, about 1 in 4 homes has had a price cut. The city's housing supply has surged by nearly 20%, and homes are taking 2 extra weeks to sell. Jacksonville shows the sharpest adaptation. Its median list price is down 2.6%, and nearly 30% of listings have reduced prices to attract buyers. And Tampa, listings are up 16%, with over a quarter of sellers slashing prices or even pulling their homes off the market rather than accept lowball offers. Across the board, sellers are learning a hard truth. The days of name your price are gone. So what are we really looking at here? A bubble about to burst, or just a market finding its balance? It's a question that divides analysts, investors, and even locals. Some point to Miami's position at the top of the global bubble index and say the warning lights are flashing red. Others argue the market is simply taking a deep breath after sprinting full speed for years. Experts say this isn't 2008. Back then, buyers were drowning in risky loans and mountains of bad debt. Lending rules were loose, credit was easy, and homes were selling to people who couldn't afford them. Today, lending standards are tighter, and most homeowners have real equity and stable jobs. Florida's economy, too, remains resilient. Across major metros, Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa, unemployment is sitting below 4%, beating the national average. Construction jobs, tourism, and tech migration continue fueling demand. So instead of a crash, analysts are calling it a controlled cooldown, a long-overdue reset after years of runaway growth. Prices might not soar like before, but they're stabilizing into something more sustainable. Still, let's not pretend the ride will be smooth. The same forces that lifted Florida's housing market to dizzying heights could make its landing unpredictable. And in Florida, there's always a twist waiting around the corner. When it comes to Florida real estate, the real drama isn't just in the listings, it's in the legislation. One major wild card? Property taxes. Governor Ron DeSantis and state lawmakers have been tossing around bold ideas, from reducing taxes to outright eliminating some local property levies altogether. Some proposals suggest higher exemptions, while others hint at a decade-long phase-out. On paper, it sounds like relief for homeowners, but many economists are waving a caution flag. Cutting taxes might make homes more affordable at first, but it could also fuel another surge in prices as buyers rush in, driving demand back up. Then there's the insurance crisis. With hurricanes growing stronger and insurers pulling out of the state, premiums have skyrocketed, doubling or even tripling for many homeowners. Some buyers have had to walk away from deals altogether after realizing insurance costs would push them over budget. And don't forget politics. With an election year on the horizon and debates over how to handle Florida's explosive growth, policy shifts could reshape the market overnight. Together, these wild cards, tax reform, insurance chaos, and political volatility are like pressure valves waiting to pop. Each one has the potential to swing the housing market in an entirely new direction. So, what does all of this mean for the people actually trying to buy or profit from Florida real estate? For everyday buyers, this might be the best opportunity in a decade. Homes are sitting longer, giving you time to breathe, think, and negotiate. Price reductions are becoming normal, not rare. And for once, buyers don't need to throw in desperate offers or skip inspections to compete. You can actually make smart, deliberate choices. But even in this buyer's market, patience and research are everything. Insurance costs, property taxes, and community fees can still make or break a deal. A lower price tag doesn't always mean long-term savings. For investors, the picture is trickier. The easy money days of flipping houses for instant profit are fading. Instead, success now depends on strategy, finding undervalued neighborhoods, long-term rentals, or markets tied to job growth and population trends. Overpay now, and you could be sitting on an asset that loses value before it gains again. Still, Florida's fundamentals, strong economy, steady migration, and undeniable appeal mean opportunity isn't gone. It's just shifting. The winners in 2025 will be the ones who play the long game instead of chasing quick flips. So where does all of this leave us? Florida's housing market isn't collapsing, it's correcting. After years of chaos, the frenzy is fading, prices are flattening, and the market is catching its breath. For years, sellers held all the cards. They set impossible prices, watched bidding wars unfold, and walked away with record profits. Now the tables have turned. Buyers have power again, more homes to choose from, more leverage to negotiate, and fewer competitors at the table. But even as balance returns, uncertainty lingers. Miami's global bubble ranking serves as a reminder that no market, no matter how strong, is immune to risk. Affordability remains a serious issue, and with rising costs from insurance and taxes, many Floridians are wondering how long this calm will last. Still, beneath the numbers and headlines, one truth stands out. Florida remains a magnet for ambition, opportunity, and reinvention. The state's housing market may be cooling, but its story is far from over. In a place built on sunshine and bold bets, the question isn't whether Florida will rise again, it's how and when. Because in the Sunshine State, one thing's for sure, change is always just around the corner. Florida's housing market is a paradox, booming and risky, cooling and thriving all at once. Some call it a buyer's dream. Others call it a bubble waiting to burst, but what do you think? Is Florida finally finding balance or standing on the edge of something bigger? Let's hear your take in the comments, because in the Sunshine State, the forecast might change faster than you think.